God has a sense of humor, so do clowns. God is not rational, neither are clowns. God uses the principles of comedy, and so do clowns.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Earth's last hope.
You're a twit. What's going on?
Meet Dr. Chuckles.
Clown.
Clown who plans to destroy the upcoming World Peace Conference. Could be a kid. The laugh generator. He's gonna broadcast a special frequency. And every cell phone in the world causes uncontrollable laughter.
There's nothing wrong with laughter.
Join 3 Spy Kids.
If laughter was the best medicine, your face would cure the world.
It's all up to you.
I'm just a kid.
Everyone has value, son. God, he doesn't make junk.
On a mission.
We could be real heroes.
Do we have a plan?
Out to save the world. Uh-oh. Secret Agent Dingledorf and his trusty dog Splat. The case of the Giggle Geeks. Coming soon.
I mean, alternately, besides just starting it like that, we could also do it as us listening to that and laughing over it.
Maybe. We can't just laugh over it, though, because that would be the bad laugh.
That would be the bad laugh. God hates the bad laugh. We'd be laughing
at it, not with it. Right? So...
that's true. We wouldn't want to make God angry.
True. Welcome to Rough Cuts. This is Boyce.
Remember that when people laugh, God cries. Hi, I'm Ilian,
your
co-host.
He's crying so much. This is a movie podcast where we watch films that have dogs in them and then rate the dogs at the end. And I definitely didn't
Is that what we do? Is that the thing we do? Because I don't feel like it is anymore.
I definitely didn't get tricked by a cover and a very snappy title.
Again.
Today we are watching the very easily read Secret Agent Dingledorf and his trusty dog Splat, The Case of the Giggling Geeks. And when you see that title, and you see the poster they made,
you think, God, that's horrible trash. Or you're Boyks and you think,
yes. Yes. Look, they were clowns. They were clowns.
This dealt me very specific psychic damage because, hey, guess what? This is the very weird, terrible Christian author that my highly religious mother tried to get me to read as a small child.
It is based on a book that your mom tried to push on you as a child. It's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's also directed by the cinematographer for Halloween 6, 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
God.
And I think we as a podcast, a movie podcast, should support independent film in the only way possible, which is when it's on sale and we buy the cheapest version possible, because I'm not paying $4 for HD.
We can't even make a movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We have to support up-and-coming people inside of the...
inside of the film industry. This movie, by the way, grossed $13,760 plus $2. Because I paid $2. Well, that's not fair. Amazon Prime's taking a pretty big cut of that $2. So it's got to be less. Anyway, you seem very upset at me. What did I do? Why are you mad? Why are you mad? Why do you have to be so mad?
Well, for a lot of reasons, this movie it has all the hallmarks of being something fun,
but it's not.
Then it's just not.
It's like a fun pizza. Like your friend's mom, you're at their birthday party, like for your friend, and your mom comes out. He's like, "I brought pizza."
And then you open up the pizza box, And it's in the shape of a cross. And she goes, oh, and I didn't add any tomato sauce or pepperoni because
it's worse.
Satan likes those.
It's worse. It's watermelon.
Oh, God. Yeah,
it's just slices of watermelon with cheese on top.
Again, in the shape of a cross. And it goes, well, you see, bread is against God.
God damn it.
You know that I'm right. That is exactly what this is. You know that I'm right. That's the thing.
I will say this movie's not cynical, so it could be worse. It could be just cynical. Let's just make a movie to try and trick people on streaming into watching this thing with a fake, absolutely bullshit fake cover that has a bait and switch in 10 minutes. At least it's not that, right? Like it could be absolutely worse for what we saw.
I don't know that that's worse.
I don't think the message they had was good, but at least they were like trying, you know? And it's not The Room bad where like they're trying and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're just bad at it.
Well, they know what they're it's not even that they're bad at it. So this is one of those movies that is exactly the, like, I'm not saying that all people that are Christians are unfunny or anything like that. Far from it. But the ones that are very
but these ones are
weird and yes, the very weird preachy evangelical type people that are just like weird bigots are extremely unfunny and untalented, and it just shows in everything that they do because it's all just the most boring pablum shit possible. They have all of the elements to make wacky humor, but they can't go anywhere with it because they always just have to go, well, but you can't laugh because that makes God cry.
It's set up like a doggone adventure movie, but with all of the joy ripped out of it.
Yeah. Like, there is a certain flavor of Christian that has no joy in their life.
And doggone series is directed by a guy who's cynical and just wants to release shit for money.
Yes.
Wait, no, I'm coming around on that. Maybe that's what it is missing, actually. Wait a minute.
Maybe it is. Like, honestly, a little cynicism would have gone a long way in this movie. I'm not even joking, either.
I think we're onto something, actually.
Yes?
Yeah.
We can't even make a movie.
On their own website, which, by the way, they have a Roblox. You can go check out their Roblox. Do you want to go see their Roblox web? You can go on there with your kids on Roblox.
Please go into the Christian dystopia land entrance in
land,
Roblox.
The dystopia land Roblox world for kids.
Sorry, this is a Christian dystopia land server? You're going to have to leave.
I bet it's a cookie clicker where you have to sit there with microtransactions the whole time. Guaranteed.
God. Their Roblox, like, I think that I'm going to put this as the screenshot for the episode, because it looks like you're going, like, if you walk into the entrance of that door, you're going to get, like, kidnapped. You are absolutely going to immediately be stolen and trafficked or something. Like, it's
funny you would say that, because one of the main lessons I learned from this movie is that I should always get into an unmarked van.
Yep.
For a stranger.
Please. If a stranger says, hey, would you like to come and get my ice cream bars or candy or puppy or whatever? Man, they got an ice cream bar or a candy or a puppy. You definitely need to go check that shit out. That's some good stuff.
And if somebody drops a Snickers on the ground from the back of their van, you eat that shit.
You eat that shit immediately.
Clown Code Red! Clown Code Red!
So anyway, their website has some reviews on it because there aren't many reviews on this $13,000 grossing independent film released directly to streaming in 2021. Here's a review from KPFK Film Club. This live-action comedy adventure subtly weaves in themes of self-esteem and respect for others. There was no subtlety in it. It was the most like, hey kids, maybe you should not laugh at people in the bad way. Like, there's no subtlety. It was just straight up, this is the lesson I'm telling you right now in straight language.
This is all the subtlety of, like, I mean, this movie is exactly the vibe of the youth pastor, like, spinning around their chair and going like, you know, kids, sex isn't fun. Like, it's that.
But making fun of clowns getting sex is hilarious.
No, it's not. That's the bad laughter. But also, you should probably do it because we did make a joke about that.
They did make a joke about Clowns Gone Wild coming to Nerdflex this summer, yeah.
Figures. Clowns Gone Wild on Nerdflix this fall. You're all gonna be stars.
Yep.
Did they know what Clowns Gone Wild implied? Because it is an adult coloring book. You could buy Clowns Gone Wild. I bought it on Amazon 2 seconds ago. I'm waiting for it to arrive.
Well, same day delivery, right? You gotta pay for that shit.
No, it's not even same day. It's like 12 hour.
You're not waiting. You don't want to wait. You gotta expedite that.
I got my fucking coloring pencils ready and sharpened.
All I can say is that we know for sure that this is a dog movie. Mom's dead. They want you to learn about God, and the dog isn't in it. And on top of all of that, the director put in his weird porn into the fucking movie.
Porn, and of course, the foot fetish.
I mean, it's not just the weird... Okay, it's not actually the director that did it. It's the writer that did that, I think. And that's... Because that one's the actual dialogue. And the writer is the same writer as the weird Christian book series.
Well, if you're going to make a children's book for Christians, you have to sneak in your fetish.
Your clown porn?
You have to. Like...
How could you not?
Have you seen Christian clowns? They're pretty scary.
The thing is that we actually have. Thank you.
Anyway, another review from Dove, the classic film website that we all know.
That's where you've got to go for these movies.
The Bracelet of Bordeaux site, so clearly...
They understand how to review movies.
The themes of self-worth and value are nicely featured in this fun movie that features clowns, dancing, and energetic music. That's technically...
Wait, was there music?
Was there music? There was that shitty disco at the end. I don't...
There's not music in this, really, right? Like,
well, they couldn't afford free music because they were using the free sound effect library, right?
They used so much free sound effect library. That's humor, you see.
Yeah, see, when I flub my line by saying sorry, I messed it up.
Alright, and that's scene.
I do have a slide whistle. I could slide whistle right now, but that would put in more effort than this movie put into their sound effects.
It's
so
stunning how much every single time, like, they even do it for everybody, like, it's every single time that anybody, like, rolls their eyes or looks away from the camera, they do, like, a string boing. Like,
there is such a thing as low budget. I think this was very low, but it couldn't have been that low a budget because they had a ton of actors, they had locations, they did a ton of CG work.
They had a lot of sets. The sets were
honestly, the set design was bad, but it was like for a goofy Spy Kids movie.
Like for a direct to stream, for what we'd expect from a direct to stream Christian dog movie.
Yeah.
It was way more budget and like
it wasn't Fast and the Furriest, you know, which was like the worst fucking green screen garbage we've ever seen.
Well, or Max and Star Paws or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't that. I mean, those again are like cynical bullshit movies.
Yes, those are just
So
scams.
Like, I don't agree with their very dumb messaging, and I think their filmmaking isn't great, but at least there was heart in a way. Like they cared, people had fun on set. I'm very torn on this, and it's partly because of all the clowns.
I mean, I think that what it is. So this one is weird in that I feel like the problem is this, that they cared and they had heart and they believed in their project. And I think that unlike a good B movie where it's like ends up being really funny, because like they believe really hard and they screw
I think it's because the messaging they don't actually believe in, I think, is what comes across.
So if I can finish.
Like
I think that a lot of the time is that those movies, they end up being good because it's earnest but terrible, right? Like they are way out of their league in terms of what they're trying to do. In this one, I think that they were entirely within their league. They can absolutely make a half-decent movie, but their own weird messaging of just like, God doesn't believe in junk is what they were going for, and they nail it, and that message is just stupid and ridiculous and not funny or interesting, and nobody cares.
Well,
like,
that's kind of what I mean by I don't think they believe their own messaging. It's like you hear somebody say, like, be nice, so then you say be nice, but you don't mean, like, from the heart, be nice. You're just repeating what somebody told you, you know?
Yeah, okay.
It feels like they're just parroting what somebody told them, like platitudes, without any feeling behind that message.
Yeah, like, don't do any mean laughing, and it's like, these people absolutely, all the time, because everybody does. Like, if somebody does a very funny pratfall in front of you, you laugh at them in a way, right? Like, and that's not necessarily always bad. And but they're like, whoa, that's Satan. And it's like, oh my God, like, come on. You would have at least a little bit of a, chuckle about it. And that doesn't make you the most evil person imaginable. If it did, if you were this much of a fucking wet rag,
you'd be the Queen of England. I know. Yeah.
You'd be the Queen of England. You'd just be the most unfunny, awful person.
And then Peppa Pig would murder you in a puddle.
Yeah, obviously.
Clearly.
Only so that they could put it in the credits of their video game, though.
Oh, that's another... Okay, so... I'm going to talk about the plot a little bit. Just to kind of set up what this is. So, it's basically a Spy Kids / Batman 66 movie. In that there's, like, heroes trying to stop the Joker from putting a laughing gas beam into space.
Yes.
Like, it's the dumbest thing. But
that could be fun.
And he's doing it during a world peace conference where all the important world leaders, all 7 of them, from the important countries.
I love that it's the G20, but then also they only show, like, 4.
Yeah. They're all talking to each other, and he wants to make them laugh and make fun of each other so that World War III starts. Because he hates laughter and people having fun. So, like, what this movie doesn't get at all is that world leaders are mean to each other, and they do say things that are not nice, because guess what? There's, like, dictators in the world, and there's a lot of shit, like, I don't know, arms deals going around. It's not some kid shit. But they think, like, a world leader, like, spraying a flower of water into somebody's face is going to cause World War III? Like, what are you talking about? It's the dumbest idea.
Yes, and I mean, it makes... For, like, a kid's movie, I get dumbing it down like that in a way, but they just... Part of it is that this is actually where all of the humor in the movie is, and there's actually some good, funny scenes in here. I will actually defend this movie very slightly on the world leader stuff, especially, like there's a scene...
There's one good scene, sure.
Where there's a couple where the Chinese world leader launches a nuke, and everybody goes, oh my God! And then he hits another button that's just kidding, and it, like, sucks the nuke back in, which is...
As a prank.
Amazing.
As a prank.
That's so good.
God, could you imagine if world leaders were mean to each other? Oh my God!
It's just a prank, bro. Oh my God. Okay, that's actually kind of amazing.
What?
Yeah, they're just a prank rocket.
And then there's the scene where the Queen of England, like, defaces public property or something. I don't know.
Yeah, she puts a mustache on Mona Lisa. There's also when they're turning the machine on and off, the Russian leader at one point goes, "Huh, I had a sense of humor there for a second," which was like,
okay,
actually, like, right? That's
like,
kind of half good.
I had sense of humor for a moment.
They turn on the machine that makes everybody laugh, and then Putin's like, "Wow, I actually thought something was funny once." Well, anyway, kill that journalist. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's because, exactly, it's because they're saying that stuff, the only funny things in the movie, aren't actually funny, and if you laugh at them, you're a bad person who likes Satan and hates God. You make God cry by laughing at the jokes we put in this movie as the only good jokes.
Yeah.
And they're all ridiculous, like you said, like it's not even snidely whiplash shit. Like, it's nothing.
You know what movie did that joke better? Idiocracy, with the Balls TV show about a guy just getting hit in the balls over and over, and then
I've never.
Okay,
seen
so there's a TV show about a guy getting hit in the balls.
I do know about.
And then everybody's like, "Oh, you got hit in the balls." And the one guy from the past who hasn't been stupefied is like, it's just a guy getting hit in the balls. What? I mean, it's kind of funny, but I wouldn't watch the whole fucking show for hours. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you need to have something that's in contrast to the absurdity.
That's part of the
problem
to
make it
with this
funny.
Too, yes.
And there isn't he plays the whole movie as the straight man to the absurd world that is Idiocracy. This movie is just everybody's dumb.
Yeah. This movie is everyone is an idiot and everyone acts like a moron. There are no straight people in this movie. I just realized what I said.
Yeah, there's no straight people.
There's no straights. This is a world without straights. The way that Christians have always wanted it. No straights anywhere. They've been eliminated.
Finally. It was all because of a clown ray. Clearly.
All they had to do was get enough giggle juice, and then all the straights were gone. But, that was one of the early scenes, is that there is an agent, and this is the level of humor that we're at. He works for a international agency that abbreviates to TWIT.
The World Intelligence Team, yeah.
Yes. And then his agent code is Agent 001/2. Is that a joke?
They're almost Naked Gun jokes, but there's no follow through on the joke, right?
No.
Like, Naked Gun or Airplane or any of those, like, Hot Shots, Police Squad. Any of those movies would show you something and then subvert your expectations to make a joke. Like, this couple was having spaghetti, but then it turns into the Lady and the Tramp scene for no reason. Like,
yes.
Like, you set up something that looks normal, and then you twist it.
Yeah, you just do something very, very weird with it. Or you do a lot of, like, fourth wall weirdness, where, like, in Police Squad, they would do a lot of, like, two people walking through a door, and they're all doing a walk and talk, and the third person couldn't get through the door, so they, like, walk around the set, and they're all just, like, still just talking, and they just keep the beats going. Like, they just don't stop. And that's kind of amazing, because you're like, yeah, it's great. Like, what the fuck? Why is that guy just going around the set? Like,
this needs more of that. And instead, the absurdity comes into play more with their budget. Because you're getting, like, the clown driving around in a golf cart that he's calling an ice cream truck. And, like, it's not a joke. It's just cheap.
Yes.
And they don't play it as a joke, but I don't get it. It's just weird. So you're constantly just, like, asking, like, was that a joke? Or were they just low on budget? Like, what happened?
Yeah, and there's no... So, like, part of the whole problem with there's no straight man, so that Agent 001/2...
Which is not even a joke.
Yeah. No, and the evil clown minion dude go to kidnap our main character.
Wing Nuts.
Yes.
I don't even know
knew
why
what his
that's
name
a
was. I
joke.
just didn't want to say.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to bother saying it.
Yeah.
The evil clown minion and him go into the house to kidnap this child / like rescue him or whatever.
But because the
And they
child
have a
ingested
fight.
a Snickers bar that makes him immune to the laughing ray.
Yes.
Sure.
And they want to have a fight in the house. But because they're both portrayed as like comic relief side character idiots,
Yeah.
there's nobody to have the reaction that you need to contrast things. Like, he picks up a mop to go and hit the clown, but then he just like rubs it lightly on his face. And that could almost be a pratfall joke kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could almost do some zany physical comedy, except that the clown can't react as a straight man and do anything with it because he also has to be zany.
So, for instance, if it was a Jackie Chan movie, everybody would have, like, big quarterstaff, like, sticks and swords or something. And then Jackie would pick up a mop and be like, oh, that's funny. What the fuck is he going to do with the mop?
Yes.
And then he does something funny with the mop and hits them in the chin or something cool. And you're like, hell yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of it, like, he actually beats them up with the mop and does a thing.
Yeah.
But, like, this doesn't
But at this, he just has a
anything.
mop, and then the mop's thrown to the side and nothing. There wasn't a joke. Yeah.
No, he, like, wipes it on the dude's face, and then the dude, like, moves it to the side, and they just keep their fight going, and nobody reacts, and nobody does anything.
Or they're doing the Home Alone bit, because the kid's at home, and he's hearing all this shit downstairs. But the kid isn't doing any of the Home Alone stuff. They're just doing it to themselves, which isn't funny. Because he didn't set it up. Like the clown Wingnut knocks over some Legos, and then later on is trying to sneak through the living room, but he keeps stepping on the Legos he knocked over. Which would be funny if it was the kid that dropped the Legos, and there was a reason for it.
Or even if, like, somebody else had done anything to do it, but it's just entirely his own stuff. Like, it's just him pratfalling himself over and over, which is like, that doesn't work. Maybe it could work with like better actors or something, but Paul Johansson, Agent 001/2, star of a lot of Nick Cassavetes films, particularly ones that are currently using a extremely ill Bruce Willis to horrible effect. Yeah.
And the director of,
And the director of this. Well, Nick Cassavetes didn't direct this, but...
No, the agent was he was the director of...
oh, yes, Atlas Shrugged.
Atlas Shrugged Part 1.
Part 1. There is no Part 2.
Just that one. Yeah.
So, by the way, Nick Cassavetes, who constantly hires this secret agent guy, directed The Notebook. To give you an idea as to why people don't like The Notebook as an actual movie. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I need to point out, I do feel... I feel a little bad doing the mean laugh at this movie. Maybe I'm learning a valuable lesson today. Because
I'm learning to stop letting you pick movies.
So we don't even have a Twitter account anymore. We deleted that shit. But before we deleted it, we had, I don't know, a couple hundred followers, something. It was a small amount. Like a respectable amount for a small independent podcast. This movie had 58. Yes. Like, no following, no energy behind the release.
As my own personal Twitter account, I had like 2,800 before I left.
It's nothing. Yeah, like my
which
Twitter
isn't a lot either.
My Twitter account, and again, follower count doesn't mean anything.
No,
but
like I said, it's.
But as a metric for their advertising for this and their energy behind releasing the film and who was interested, it was no.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything except for that. Like, we'll put it this way. It doesn't matter unless it's an extreme, if that makes sense, right? Like, followers don't matter unless you only have, like you said, 50 or 1 million.
Yeah.
Those are the only metrics that matter.
I'm just meaning is like a metric, and considering how much money they got back, which is way below what they spent, I'm sure. It's such a... I don't know. It feels like kicking down a little bit.
No, it's okay. We can kick down. I'm fine kicking this thing. I'll use the mean laugh if you won't.
You're fine kicking them like the president who wraps them around with a microphone and then knocks them over like bowling pins? Is that?
Yes.
That's
correct.
What you're fine kicking them? Okay.
But
this movie's
I think that part of
dumb.
that whole thing that you're saying, like with how little money it made, also just goes to what you had talked about earlier with they don't really believe their own messaging. That, like, because for example, like I said, like my mother tried to push this author who's written like, God, there's like 200 books or something of all this level of absolute trash. He did write this movie too, by the way.
Oh, he also wrote the script. Okay.
Yep, yeah, he wrote the full script. So like he gets no absolution from this at all. It is all that bad. Like she would push it on me constantly to get me to read it, like as a kid, because it's like, oh, you got to read this because it's good Christian material. But it's like if I told her to read it and had her try and read it with, she wouldn't have wanted to read this. This stuff's garbage. It's not fun to read. There's nothing fun or interesting about it.
God doesn't make junk.
So the clown shot a ray of giggles at the world.
Yes.
And before that, Agent 005 got Bernard Dingledorf.
That's the only joke, basically.
To be an agent, he like forced it on him. You're an agent now, kid.
Oh yeah, he forcibly kidnapped
the kid doesn't want to help anyone. The kid doesn't want to be a hero. The kid doesn't have the qualities to be a hero. Doesn't know what to do. Doesn't give a shit.
Correct.
But he was forced into the situation. Because he ate a chocolate bar off the road. And if everybody who ate a chocolate bar off the road was brought into an unmarked van by an agent to a
how do you
secret
know
facility.
my life so well? This is all top secret. What are you doing? Don't blow my cover.
The kids have to save the world, but they're bad at it, and they don't know what to do. So they go on Google, and they research the clown. And then they put a video that somebody took at a birthday party that Chuckles, the evil clown, was at before he became an evil clown, where it was shot like a television special.
Yes, like a Saturday night special. Yeah.
What the fuck? And they put that on a USB, stick to bring to Chuckles. Because their only solution to solving world domination by giggles is to talk it out.
Yeah, it's to show him that he's actually a good clown who made people laugh.
Until Bernard decides it's better to grab a gun and threaten him.
Yep.
Which kind of defeats their whole messaging a little bit.
It also really defeats the whole thing in that. So Bernard's whole thing, and the reason why he gets thrust into this role, is because he, like a goblin child, eats these garbage chocolate bars that fell off of a van,
like we all do.
Road,
like we all do.
We all would, yes, like everyone would, and that makes him immune to the giggle rays. And that was the whole thing: is that Dr. Chuckles had made him and his crew immune to the giggle rays, except that he didn't. When Bernard picks up the gun and threatens him, it's a giggle gun. And he goes, oh my God, you're gonna giggle me.
Why did he make candy bars that make you immune to giggle rays and then not eat them?
And then not use them?
Plot
Don't
convenience?
Worry.
Is that why?
Don't worry, it gets worse. Boykes, it gets worse. Think about it. It gets worse. Because then Dr. Chuckles gets the gun from the child.
And then just overrides the
and shoots
chocolate
him and
anyway.
And overrides his immunity.
So what the fuck was the point about the chocolate bars at all?
There was none. There was none. That's the whole thing. This is why we couldn't talk about this movie, because there's nothing. There's nothing.
Were they placebo giggle bars? Is that like?
I don't know.
Oh my God. So Bernard gets his
I'm
friends.
not giggling. I'm crying out of frustration.
No, that's not a laugh. That's a mean laugh. You're laughing at the movie, not.
I'm making
with
God
the
cry.
Movie. Don't worry. I learned the lesson. Always laugh at, never with. That sounds right.
We shouldn't make fun of this movie because God doesn't make junk. And so there wouldn't
God would never make junk, and if
So
this
there
was
wouldn't be
junk,
junk
then
here.
God wouldn't have made it. So
God wouldn't have made it. God would not allow junk.
God doesn't make junk.
So Bernard gets his friends IQ and Lens Cap to follow him.
Off.
Which are stereotypical something or another. I don't... IQ's like a kid who's not smart. I think that's the joke. I don't...
That's what I was going to say.
Which is making fun of him, so why is, again, not understanding the whole fucking messaging?
Yeah,
and then
he's an idiot. That's the whole joke.
Lens Cap is a girl who wants to make movies, but honestly, nobody in this film can make a movie. So... But
she's super, super bad at it. They make fun of her a bunch.
They make fun of her, and they call her Lens
Cap. That's even a
Cap.
plot point at the end. That's the point at the end, even, is
Yeah.
that they talk about, like, how, well, she can't make a movie. You know how you can't make films? You're a bad artist?
She can't make a traditional movie. She can make an adult movie.
She can make Clowns Gone Wild.
She can make Clowns Gone Wild. That's the...
Oh, God.
That's the one film she's good at. And
should you tell that actual scene, what happens in it at some point?
Yeah, so they get into the dystopia land after riding the Giggle coaster. The Giggler.
Fuck off. I don't want to do this anymore.
I hate this movie. So
I really had fun with this.
This is revenge for the Three Doggeteers. I'm going to point that out. So they
we need to stop the war.
We need to
stop the war.
No,
we need to stop the mean laughter that has caused
I need to press
our...
the just a prank button and
yes,
move
we need to finally hit the prank button and do nuclear dog disarmament. We need to scale back from where we've gone because we can't keep doing this to each other.
So Bernard, IQ, and Lens Cap lock themselves in a closet to get away from the evil clowns and the mime who talks. The fucking talking mime.
Oh my god, he talks the whole movie!
The mime wearing a shirt that says, I can't tell you who is near me or who I'm next to because I'm a mime and I can't talk and I need to explain the joke. Talks constantly, which defeats the whole point that he's a mime.
Oh my god, I hate... They don't follow anything.
So as they're locked in the room, they're like, we need to come up with a plan to get rid of these clowns. Wait, Lens Cap, you're really good at movies, right? No, I suck shit, actually, and everybody says I'm bad at it. Oh, but that's
why
not...
they call me Lens Cap.
But that's not true, Lens Cap, who I will continue making fun of. You're good at it, actually. And let's use your powers of making films to trick these clowns. Okay. So she walks out, is like, hey, get ready, everybody. We're shooting our new reality show. It's called Clown Cab, Clown Taxi, Clown Bus, Clowns Gone Wild.
The actual name is Clowns Gone Wild. She does actually say, we're gonna do Clowns Gone Wild. Who wants to be in it? And they all flock to this 12-year-old child.
That's the other problem, yeah.
Like 10 or 12-year-old child and go, yeah, let's do Clowns Gone Wild.
So they excitedly, this group of mixed clowns and mimes, follow her into a closet, and then she shuts the door on them, and they leave.
So that they can do Clowns Gone Wild.
So they can do Clowns
follow
Gone
this
Wild.
small child to film in a closet Clowns Gone Wild.
So, like, did they know what they were writing? What they were... Was it the same as the coloring book I found? Did they know that?
How could you possibly not know?
I don't know. But
how could you possibly not know?
Chuckles catches the group, the kids, in his laser trap, which is called his insult room. And then he offers them a job with benefits, union, representation, pretty good pay.
World domination, yeah.
World domination, as well as sick days and PTO.
Yeah, he traps them in his insult room because they make fun of him for being a bad clown, and that means they get trapped. Oh no, because they use the bad laughter that makes God cry.
And there's no way out of the insult room. Except for being nice to each other and lying about what they think about their friends.
Well, and also just constantly saying, God loves you. God loves you. Yeah, God loves you. God doesn't make junk. God loves you.
If God
loves you.
doesn't make junk, we wouldn't have Secret Agent Dingledorf with his trusty dog. Hey, remember his trusty dog Splat? Do you remember that? So
what? Who?
There's also a dog in this movie.
Who?
What? Are we 30-some minutes into this episode? 30. Holy shit. Okay. Anyway, there's a dog.
Oh, great. There is a dog. Yes.
So their dog Splat also follows them around. It's like a big bulldog. It's very chunky and cute. And the only
it waddles everywhere.
The only thing Splat does is fart and piss.
But that's good laughter. That's allowable laughter. God says that laugh is okay. Dog piss is totally cool.
So like earlier in the movie, Bernard dressed up as a dorky superhero with his friends shooting a dorky superhero movie, gets bullied by actual teenagers.
Adults.
Like adult teenagers.
They're like 18.
Which is also coincidentally just Green Day, the band. There for some reason. I don't know how they got Green Day in this movie, but...
Yeah, Billy Joel was like, they really de-aged him, but it's him.
I don't get it. Yeah, digitally altered.
Chain wallet and all.
Yeah. But he's bullying them, and then the way that the bullies get told off is not Bernard jumping at them to punch him in the face, because that fails.
Yes.
It's Splat pissing on his leg.
Yes.
Okay.
And that makes him run away and cry. And God likes that, though. God loves that. That's funny.
See, we as the audience are supposed to laugh at him getting pissed on, which is the good laugh. We're laughing with him.
God laugh.
Because he's laughing about how he got peed on. Yeah.
He's not actually owned. He's not owned.
Oh, they're fighting! Kick his ass, Splat!
And cut. Now that is
what I call
entertainment.
This teen pushed this child on the ground.
Aww,
Pretty
now
cool.
what you made me do. Oh well, that's showbiz.
Let's go be teens elsewhere. Yo, dog! Why is that dog pissing on him? Is that his superpower?
We're out of here.
It is super weird. There's like these 17-year-old
just hanging around
kids like making fun of like and picking on like 11 and 12-year-olds. It's really weird and creepy. It's like what?
It's dumb.
Who's doing this? Why is this aged this way?
So after the kids later on get out of the insult room by giving compliments to each other, which is a very youth pastor thing to say.
Well, it would have been one thing if they had been... Sorry, I just want to think about this for just a second, because I just... Like you said, like they call the one kid IQ, and they call her Lens Cap.
They're
and it's
mean to their friends.
Mean-spirited.
Yes.
Like, that's obviously mean-spirited nicknames and stuff. There's things like that going on. They could have very easily done an actual message of these kids having a moment and being like, hey, listen, Brian, I know we call you IQ. That's not very nice. Like, and just had an actual moment.
They would have to be self-aware to do that.
But they don't do anything with it. Like, it's all just this...
It's also weird
God
that,
loves you.
Like, Bernard doesn't have a nickname, but IQ and Lens Cap do, right?
Bernard doesn't have a nickname, even though his last name is Dingledorf.
Yeah, Dingleberry, I know.
And yet
it's like
somehow,
right there. It's right there.
He's the one that has escaped everyone's ire.
Somehow.
He's the leader who gets to make fun of everyone else.
Do you think that's a writer self-insert? Like,
no
one would make fun of me, but I would make fun of everyone. Right?
Yes,
like,
and the way that I make fun of people is good, and God loves it. But everyone else is not allowed to be mean to me.
So then after they break in, Bernard grabs a gun, a giggle gun, and threatens Chuckles with death.
He tried the power of love to beat this man. Now he's going to try the power of incredible violence.
But Chuckles, whatever his name is, Chuckles. Reverses him Like
Uno reverses and steals
Uno
the gun,
reverses,
yes.
steals the gun, and shoots him in the face with the giggle gun on overcharge. Which causes him to laugh, but then Bernard puts his USB stick into Chuckles' computer to show him the power of, well, there was that kid at that birthday party that liked you that one time. So clearly, you must be funny, actually.
Yeah, I love the many layers in which this is fucked up, like we talked about. The gun, just using the violence and after all the messaging. Then also the fact that, like, why would it work on either of them? And then it somehow does work and it overrides his immunity. But then on top of that, it doesn't actually work because even though he's laughing, he's still not mean in the way that he's supposed to be mean, and instead just conquers it and is nice instead. So, like,
somehow
every single layer of this doesn't work inside of their own rules.
So Chuckles is wavering between evil and good, with a little Jesus on both sides. One saying, hey, I think you should do evil. And the other one saying, yeah, that sounds great.
Yes.
Hey, we should do that evil thing. That sounds awesome. And then...
Remember when we made the Russian leader have a sense of humor for a second?
Oh my god, yeah. So IQ then throws out his super cool spy gear disco ball that causes all the clowns to funk up, I guess.
Yeah.
And then during the funkening of the clowns, Wingnut, like, activates a
the
lever.
Bad minion clown.
Yeah, he activates a lever that overcharges the giggle gun bomb. The hydrogen giggle bomb.
Yes.
Laser thing. Is it a bomb or is it a satellite laser that shoots gas? What is it? I don't...
It shoots laser giggles into space through a satellite that then bombs countries with giggle laser.
But they hook up a bunch of giggle guns in parallel to make it stronger.
Yeah,
but
you shoot a gun to shoot a gun, which makes the gun better. Haven't you ever doubled gun?
This is like a Dead Rising thing where they just duct tape two guns together and say, look, it's a bigger gun now. Right?
But they don't play into the humor of it.
No.
They do it as serious.
So then this causes even Chuckles to go into laugh mode. And they're all laughing. And the only people that aren't are the audience watching this filth. Yeah. And then the only way they can stop it is by Splat pissing on the power cable, which causes a fire. And as the entire facility is burning down and there's about to be a big giggle explosion from the giggle bomb, everybody's like, good boy, Splat.
Good boy, Splat. Thank you for pissing on that.
You pissed so well, Splat. I love your piss. Thank you.
It does
Thank you for
end up
pissing.
with one of the funniest scenes in this, and it was not intended, which is the dog pissing on a fire, like a really, really bad digital fire on a really, really bad digital, like, electrical outlet, and a bunch of, like, clapping over it. And the dog pissing. This movie is so lazy. They do him pissing twice. And both times, they don't even have the dog's leg raised. They just, like, digitally insert a stream of water.
If I see a dog pissing, I want it to be correct.
Right, but it's like, it looks super weird, though, that this dog is just, like, pissing out the side, but just standing there.
Oh! Splat pissed!
Oh, good.
That Splat's piss saved the world!
They don't even bother to have the dog raise its leg.
Good boy,
Like,
good boy, you see this, good boy.
okay, that's kind of a good visual, I guess.
There was also the time where the French president used the saw to cut the Eiffel Tower, and then they just cut a square on a picture of the Eiffel Tower and rotated the square without rotating the background.
So, like, the sky and the ground and everything move with the Eiffel Tower. Yes, that was pretty incredible.
Pretty good.
But, like, with the pissing, though, like, the...
Sorry, do you want to keep talking about piss? Is that what's going on? You're really focused on this piss talk.
It's like he's peeing out of his kidneys directly. It's like they like shunted his kidney because it's just out of the side of his body. It's so fucking weird looking. That's all. That's all I had to say.
All right, piss man. What you say? So anyways, after the bomb has
I was going to say, that's the mean laughter that you're doing to me. But apparently you're allowed to do mean nicknames as long as it's your friends.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
I don't know. I
It's
guess
true.
you made God laugh at me.
Yay! That's the
Yay!
message. Anyway, so Chuckles' whole plan has been dissolved, and the cops are showing up, and you can hear sirens in the distance. And then Bernard's like, see, isn't it better to laugh with and not at people? Yeah, you should stop the world domination thing so we can all be friends. And Chuckles is like, no, I'm gonna do world domination again. Let's go, let's build back up. Let's throw this kid in fucking jail. Let's beat him up with a bat.
Yep.
Actually, you know what? That world domination's still a pretty good plan. Now I think about it.
Yeah.
And the way that Bernard changes his mind is by awful dad puns. Literal just
Yes.
puns his dad said.
It's like it's those Minecraft jokes for teens books.
Yeah. Or the Minecraft Bible. Yeah.
It's that kind of humor. It's like, oh god, what does a sea monster eat? Fish and chips.
Fish and chips. Yeah, there was also the what do ghosts like to eat? Ice cream.
And that's so hilarious that it overcomes these adults and they just can't stop
And
but
then
laugh
they decide
in
to
the
be
good way.
good now because they laughed correctly at a thing that was funny. Not a mean thing.
It's never too late to end human civilization as we know it and to begin world
How does a farmer
domination.
count cows?
Wait, what?
How does a farmer count cows? With a calculator. Or, how about this one? What do ghosts have for dessert?
Please punch this child.
Ice cream.
Hey, I think I have a 1950s
What do
joke
sea
book
monsters
for
have for
kids
lunch?
somewhere in a shelf. I can
I
grab
don't know,
that
Bernie.
for this episode.
What do sea monsters eat?
Fish.
That's probably
and
not a bad
chips.
idea.
That's the level of humor this
I
fucking
get it
movie
now.
has.
See?
Yes.
See how good people feel with the right type of laughter?
See, that's the right type
Listen,
of
You're
laughter.
a genius and the right kind of humor.
Oh.
You could
Laughing when it's
could
mean
change the
is
world.
wrong.
for the good.
Yeah.
This is a man that's been laughed at a lot in his life, the writer. And he's just like, I want people to stop not being mean, laugh at me.
Hello?
And then as Bernard is walking home from Dystopia Land, which you can visit in Roblox,
In Roblox.
and you could hear the oof sound from Messiah, not Tommy Tallarico, which I was told to not make Tommy Tallarico jokes on this podcast.
So do you
anymore.
think that Jesus on the cross just oof like when they're
Like the Messiah
got
oof?
with the spear? Like
I'm pretty sure.
was that his reaction? Was that the first recorded oof?
I'm pretty sure. As he's walking home,
We can't laugh at that. That makes God cry.
He sees Green Day on a
Don't
bench,
laugh.
very upset as he's trying to write the lyrics to American Idiot, but he can't do it. And Bernard's like, hey, I know lyrics to Green Day songs. I can help you write that.
Well, he can't write American Idiot because that's mean and it makes God cry. He has to do like American Nice Guy.
American Nice Guy, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
That'll make God happy.
And then the bully's like, okay, you big dumb asshole, but don't tell anyone, you dumb, stupid ass kid. Dumbass moron, help me.
Yes.
Which is good? Question
And that's
mark?
his redemption. There's his redemption arc. Letting a toddler help him with his homework.
But
Like,
but insulting the
18-year-old
toddler as he asks.
And then insulting him as he does it. Yes. Yep.
Which again defeats the whole message. I don't...
And so then he is walking down the street. The movie's still not over.
This
That's
is like
right.
the third ending, yeah.
So then you're like, wait, it's still not over. And he's walking down the street, and the weird agent guy abducts him in his van again, which
Correct.
the kid willingly goes into his black tinted van.
After way too long of a joke of him passing him on the sidewalk.
Yes, and being too stupid to stop. And so then, don't laugh. That's not funny. That's bad laughing. So then he gets kidnapped, and he goes on another adventure So that's the end of the movie. No, it's not the end of the movie.
Ending
Fuck
4.
you. Of course there's not an ending.
Ending 4, the kids are shooting a movie again with him in his superhero costume.
Wait, but isn't he in the van getting adventured?
I don't know, because during them shooting the film that they were originally shooting when they got made fun of by Green Day, it like breaks the fourth wall and goes out to the set of them shooting the film that we're watching, and then it cuts immediately to bloopers without being obvious it's moving to bloopers. And I don't know what the hell they were doing.
And they do fake bloopers. They do
the awful fake ones, yeah.
They do the worst, like, the one actor that I was making fun of for being in all of the Atlas Shrugged director and stuff, did Agent 00 half. Fuck off. He goes like, he makes some line where he's supposed to, I can't remember what he's supposed to say, but he ends it, he's like, oh, well, we could stop it with the power of farts. Like, he ruins the take.
Says something wrong on purpose as a joke.
And they add in the sound effect, because sound effects are fucking hilarious. And that's the blooper. No, he was just blowing off steam because he was so goddamn bored because this movie sucked so bad. Like,
his bloopers were the only funny ones overall because he actually did say funny things. The problem is they cut all the funny stuff he said from the movie, and they didn't leave it in. They had him on such a tight leash, that he couldn't do anything actually funny.
Yeah, like, as much as I want to make more fun of that guy, he was actually kind of the one ray of he's in this movie.
He's no Bowser, Agent Bowser.
No, God, no. He's definitely not the doggone guy. No,
but he's trying so hard to be that guy.
Well, and he might have gotten there if they let him.
If they let him, yeah.
Because, like, there was a thing where he is supposed to be, like, smooching up on this woman at the end of the movie for
because she's so hot and ready to have sex with 00 half, yeah.
It's whatever. I don't know. But in the bloopers, he has terrible breath, and she kind of, like, has this look.
She, like,
and he
winces, yeah.
And so then he kind of, like, into his hand and, like, smells it, and he goes, oh. And, like,
they should have let that in.
They should have let that in. That fits his character.
That's just good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they left it as a blooper. I'm like, no, you don't know what you have. What are you doing?
Yeah, the only good lines are basically all in the bloopers.
Speaking of bloopers, the best line is in the blooper, which is, they'll be showing this in film schools.
They'll be showing this movie in film schools. You know that, right?
That's what they ended on? Fuck you.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And that's how they end the entire
credits. That's how
credits.
They end it, yes.
Hey, they'll be showing this in film schools in the future, kid. That's how popular this is going to be.
Disagree, because I would absolutely show this to a film school.
What not to do?
Oh, yeah. No, not as a,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, not in the way that they think. I mean in the mean, not
in
God
the mean
hates it
laughing
way.
at them way.
in the God hates it way, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, that is Secret Agent Dingledorf and his trusty dog Splat, the case of the Giggling Geeks 2021 IMDb page. Starring...
Now
on Roblox.
Now featured on Roblox. Speaking of being featured on Roblox, you can find our podcast.
We're not on Roblox. Do not go to Roblox.
On anywhere that's not Roblox. Namely, you can find us on Blue Sky and Co-host, where we're Rough Cuts Cast. And if you want to send us any jokes that'll make God cry, you can send it to roughcutscast@gmail.com. And we should probably rate the dog, except we can't because he's not in the fucking film.
I will rate Splat. I will rate Splat a pissing out of 10. That is the only memorable thing this dog does is piss and fart. So pissing out of 10.
I'll just name him a fire crotch out of 10 since all the kids get a nickname. That's his.
Are you sure you don't want to rate him a marketing decided we need an animal to sell this book out of 10?
We could go both.
Because, I mean, that's pretty close to what happened.
Oh, yeah, that's... Yeah, that's the one problem with that, is that you assume this man actually has a team behind him of marketers, because there's nobody that gives a shit about him.
No, but he wouldn't make junk, right?
Bye.
God doesn't make junk.
Fuck? Who the hell are these dogs? Jesus Christ, it's like a fucking dog movie in here.